7 surprising facts about hair loss. 1. Most common cause of hair loss is heredity, that is androgenetic alopecia. 2. More than 50% of men have male pattern hair loss by the age of 50. 3. 40% women will have female pattern hair loss by the time they reach menopause. 4. Hereditary pattern baldness is more commonly inherited from the mother's side of the family, but hair loss can actually be inherited from the father's side, the mother's side, or both. 5. Wearing hats, frequent shampooing, clogged pores, or decreased blood flow to the scalp are not the causes of hair loss. 6. Certain drugs that are used to treat cancer, arthritis, depression, heart problems and high blood pressure can cause hair loss. 7. Hair loss due to iron deficiency and thyroid imbalance is reversible with proper treatment.
Reasons why your hair doesn't regrow. Have you ever had the feeling that your hair was not growing? Your strands are always growing unless you have a medical condition that inhibits your follicles from creating new hair. The problem isn't often that the hair isn't growing, but that the length you do get from growth isn't being retained. There are some of the reasons why your hair may not be retaining length and appearing to be growing. Genetics. Hair growth cycles vary greatly from person to person owing to heredity. Before it's time for the hair to shed, one person's cycle may have a growth phase of 3 years, while another cycle may have a growth phase of 5 years. It's possible that the growth stage is shorter than others and appears to be stagnant. Age. As we grow older, our hair becomes brittle. It begins to shed at a faster pace, giving it the appearance of being thin and short. Similarly, the production of oil in the scalp slows down, causing your hair to become less moisturized and coarser than usual. Emotional stress has been linked to hair loss and poor hair quality, according to studies. A massage or a hair mask can be used to pamper oneself. It will assist you in relaxing as well as improving your physical look. Unhealthy scalp. Oil and other heavy products clog the pores on the scalp, preventing hair development. It's important for your scalp to be able to breathe. Instead of oily products, try utilizing natural essential oils that can penetrate your hair. Even hair styling requires the use of heavy products in order to maintain your scalp clean. So, it is advised to keep the scalp as clean as possible. Poor hair habits. Damaged hair becomes weak and fragile. Excessive heat styling, chemical hair coloring, bleaching, and over manipulation from styling are all bad hair care behaviors that cause hair breaking. These behaviors put additional stress on already fragile hair, reducing its elasticity and leading to breakage, thinning, and severe hair damage. Split ends. Lack of moisture, dryness, and chemicals create split ends. Women, on the other hand, try to keep their hair as long as possible by avoiding haircuts, but they acquire no length. The hair begins to split at the ends and progresses up the shaft, resulting in thinner strands and finally breaking. To eliminate split ends and keep your hair moisturized, you should trim your hair every 10 to 12 weeks. Level of stress. Hair growth is harmed by any form of physical or psychological stress, according to medical research. Stress causes telogen effluent, a disorder in which your hair enters the telogen phase, that is the resting phase, prematurely, preventing 30% of its growth. Even though this ailment does not require medical treatment and only lasts 6 months, it disrupts your hair development cycle and results in hair loss. Most common hair care routines that are harmful to your hair. Who doesn't want their hair to be healthier, stronger, and more luscious? Every person's ultimate objective is to have abundant and attractive hair. But when we notice a large amount of hair on your hairbrush, we become upset. It is common to lose 50 to 100 hairs per day. However, If you are losing a lot more hair than this, it is termed as hair loss. Hair care is just as vital as taking care of your health. Hair loss is common in those with unhealthy hair. We do a lot of things to protect our hair from damage without recognizing that our bad hair care methods are actually causing additional harm to our hair. Here are a few things that could be causing your hair to fall out. Washing your hair every day. The natural oils in your hair are depleted when you wash it every day. Hair damage can be avoided by making minor adjustments. Hair benefits from gently massaging the scalp and avoiding rinsing with warm water. Also, avoid combing your wet hair. Using wrong way to dry your hair. After a shower, the way you dry your hair might cause breakage and damage. Wet hair should not be rubbed with a towel. To absorb the water, wrap your hair in a towel. Excessive use of heating devices. Hair strands are subjected to tremendous heat stressors when using flat irons, curling irons, and blow dryers. They are to blame for the hair loss of moisture in hair, which results in hair damage and breakage. It is recommended that these tools be used less regularly. Excessive use of styling agents on your hair should be avoided. Too tightly styled hair. Hair follicles are damaged when your hair is pulled back in a tight bun or ponytail all the time. Allow your hair to breathe and refrain from pulling it for a few days each week to avoid bald spots in specific regions. Chemical treatments. Chemical treatments such as hair color, relaxers, and perms can cause your hair to become dry and brittle. Make sure you are using products made for chemically treated hair.
Tips to maintain healthy hair. Appropriate diet and proper care can keep your hair and scalp healthy. Balanced diet for healthy hair. Is your diet affecting your hair? If you aren't getting enough of certain key vitamins and minerals, you may be at risk for hair loss. The integrity of normal skin and hair function relies largely on adequate and balanced nutritional intake. Dietary imbalance, whether in form of overall deficiency or excess of one component over other, can disturb the equilibrium. A healthy diet can help your hair stay strong and shiny. What you eat can also keep you from losing your locks. If you're not getting certain nutrients from food, you might see the effects in your hair. Zinc. Zinc can play a key role in making proteins in your hair and other cells. Signs of low zinc levels include hair loss, poor wound healing, and a weak sense of taste or smell. You can get zinc from whole natural foods like meat, milk, fish, legumes, whole grains, brown rice, oatmeal, cracked wheat, quinoa, dairy products, milk, yogurt, cheese, nuts, almonds, cashew, peanuts and seeds, pumpkin, sunflower, sesame, flax. Iron. Red blood cells need iron to carry oxygen. Low levels can cause iron deficiency anemia. Symptoms include fatigue, pale skin, and hair loss. Food rich in iron include red meat, green leafy vegetables mainly spinach, legumes, chickpeas, soybeans, nuts, almonds, cashew, peanuts, jaggery. Biotin. Biotin, vitamin B7, is important for cells inside your body. Low levels of it can cause hair loss, skin rashes, and brittle nails. You can find it in foods like egg yolks, whole grains, brown rice, oatmeal, cracked wheat, quinoa, tomatoes. Vitamin C. Vitamin C is essential for your gut to absorb iron. Some good sources of it are citrus fruits, oranges, lemon, leafy greens like spinach, bell peppers. Omega-3 fatty acid. Omega-3s are anti-inflammatory. They can help if you have inflammation that's causing hair shedding. Sources of omega-3 fatty acids are fish oil, salmon fish, seeds like flax seeds. In short, you can get all the nutrients for your hair growth from dairy products like milk, cheese, yogurt, whole grains like brown rice, oatmeals, cracked wheat, quinoa, citrus foods like lemon and oranges, nuts like almond, cashew, and peanuts, seeds like pumpkin seeds, flax seeds, sunflower seeds, and sesame seeds. Green leafy vegetables mainly legumes like chickpeas and soya beans. Non-vegetarian foods like fish, meat, and egg yolks. Other foods like tomatoes, sweet potatoes, jaggery, etc. Other hair care tips for healthy hair. For healthy and shinier hair, it is essential to follow some of the regular hair care tips in addition to the balanced diet. Shampoo. Shampoo is basically a mild soap. Basic function of the shampoo is to cleanse the scalp, hair. An ideal shampoo should have a balanced pH of 5.5. Sulfate-free. Sulfate is an alkaline which dries up the scalp. Paraben-free, can cause allergies, carcinogenic. Hair brushes and combs. The best brushes for fine hair are extra soft boar's bristle hair brushes, which are gentle on the hair and scalp and maximize natural shine. They have stiff bristles that help to detangle without pulling out hair. Does heat styling damage your hair? Definitely, hot tools can leave our hair looking more stylish and put together, but over time, that heat styling can lead to some pretty serious damage, including dryness, breakage, and split ends among other things. Expert advice. Hair loss or baldness can be due to various reasons which needs to be identified correctly. But, if the causes of hair loss is not identified correctly, then it may worsen. It is better to take an expert advice who will recommend a suitable treatment as per the cause of hair loss or baldness. Hair concerns, you can call us on 981-151-6411. We have our branches in Mumbai and Kerala. Hair loss and baldness treatments and procedures. Treatment. Supplementation can be considered for a prescribed period so that nutritional status improves. Doctors may recommend medicines like finasteride, multivitamins, solutions like minoxidil, which can be applied to the scalp and may work by increasing blood flow resulting in nourishment to the hair follicles. Though, it can do very little for follicles that have already become inactive. This treatment is recommended at an earlier stage of hair loss for more favorable results. Procedures. PRP, platelet-rich plasma therapy for hair loss, is a three-step medical treatment in which a small quantity of patient's blood is drawn, processed, and then injected into the scalp. It promotes hair growth to make the hair denser and stronger again. How does PRP work for hair? PRP injections trigger natural hair growth and maintain it by increasing blood supply to the hair follicle and increasing the thickness of the hair shaft. Sometimes this approach is combined with other hair loss procedures or medications. Mesotherapy. Mesotherapy is a technique which involves micro-injections that uses injections of vitamins, enzymes, hormones, into the mesoderm or middle layer of skin to promote healing. Micropigmentation. Scalp micropigmentation is a non-invasive treatment that uses detailed microneedles to deposit pigment into the scalp. The result creates the appearance of tiny hair follicles that help thicken and restore the look of fuller hair. Hair replacement options. Wigs, patches, and other hair replacement systems have several side effects like itching, maintenance of hair, permanent baldness, etc. They are not long-lasting and need to be replaced timely basis. You cannot straighten or curl them. There will always be an unnatural shine on your hair wig. More challenging for some individuals to manage as they can be more difficult to style than human hair. What makes hair transplant the best solution for hair loss? Hair transplant is one of the most effective options to restore hair as it involves harvesting follicles from the back of head which are DHT resistant and transplanting them to bald areas. There are techniques like FUT and MHI which are used for hair transplant procedures. Vplant Hair Clinic uses the latest techniques like MHI modified hair implantation to regrow natural hair, which is a minimally invasive process, safe, painless, scarless and long-lasting. The patient's healthy hair is used for the growth of new hair. At Vplant Hair Clinic, our highly skilled and experienced hair transplant surgeons can recreate a bald head into a head full of hair. Advantages of MHI. Permanent solution. Less invasive and safe cosmetic surgery. Rapid recovery and no need for admission. For any hair concerns you can call us on 981-151-6411. We have our branches in Mumbai and Kerala. Causes, tips and treatments. Causes of hair loss in males and hair growth cycle. Having a head full of hair brings a feeling of masculinity and vitality in men. Many men see hair loss as a natural part of growing older and they do not notice the need for treatment. However, hair loss can trigger negative psychological effects such as low self-esteem and depression. Male pattern baldness is a genetic condition, whereas hair loss can be caused by various other factors. If you are losing patches of hair in apparently random manner, you may have alopecia, a condition where a person, male or female, loses patches of hair from different parts of body. If hair loss occurs in more receding pattern, usually from the temple and crown, then it's more likely that you have androgenic alopecia or male pattern baldness. If you are having male pattern baldness, you are losing hair because your body is increasingly sensitive to male sex hormone called androgen. The extent to which your scalp is affected by this process is hereditary. In men, the first sign of balding is receding hairline or a bald spot on the crown causing thinning of hair. Stages of hair growth cycle. At any given time, a random number of hairs will be in one of the three stages of growth and shedding. 1. Anagen. It is a period of active hair growth. Duration of this phase varies with age, sex, and region. It is the longest phase and lasts for 3 to 5 years. Though for some people a single hair could continue growing for 7 or more years. 2. Catagen. The catagen phase starts when the anagen phase ends, and tends to last about 2 to 3 weeks. During this phase, hair follicles shrink and hair growth slows. The hair also separates from the bottom of the hair follicle, yet remains in place during its final days of growing. At any given time, only about 5% of the hairs on your head are in the catagen phase. 3. Telogen. The telogen phase typically lasts around 3 months. An estimated 10 to 15% of your scalp hairs are in this phase. Some men lose hair in early 20s while some maintain good hair until
What is your grade of baldness? Typically, men lose their hair in one of the common patterns over the course of several years. Norwood scale is the leading classification system used to measure the extent of male pattern baldness. It provides a. reference point to diagnose the extent of baldness, b. discuss treatment options, C. Measure the effectiveness of treatment. 7 stages of hair loss. Stage 1. There is no significant hair loss or recession of hairline. Stage 2. There is a slight recession of hairline around the temples, which is also known as an adult or mature hairline. Stage 3. Signs of significant balding appear. Hairline becomes deeply recessed at both temples, resembling U, M or V shape. The recessed areas are thinly covered with hair or are completely bare. Stage 3 vertex. Hairline stays at stage 2, but there is a significant hair loss on top of the scalp that is the vertex. Stage 4. 2 areas of hair loss are separated by a band of hair that connects to the hair remaining on the sides of the scalp. Stage 5. 2 areas of hair loss are larger than in stage 4. They are still separated, but the band of hair between them is narrower and thinner. Stage 6. Balding areas at the temples join with the balding area at the vertex. Band of hair across the top of the head is thin or completely gone. Stage 7. In this stage of hair loss, only a band of hair going around the sides of the head remains. This hair is usually not dense and may be fine. Platelet-rich plasma therapy, PRP, for hair loss. Platelet-rich plasma is a hair growth treatment in which your own growth factors are harnessed. The good part of plasma is extracted. Platelet-rich plasma therapy is our body's form of regenerative medicine, its own healing mechanism. Steps involved. The blood from your vein is drawn. It is then centrifuged, separated in a machine. Local anesthesia is given. Followed by that platelet-rich plasma is injected into the scalp, which is the good part of the blood. After injecting the contents in the scalp, the patient is placed under the laser light. The laser light helps to increase the microcirculation of the scalp and also enhances the uptake of the injected contents into the scalp by stimulating it. Key growth factors. EGF, epidermal growth factor. FGF, fibroblast growth factor. PDGF, platelet-derived growth factor. VEGF, vascular endothelial growth factor. IGF, insulin growth factor. TGF, transforming growth factor. These growth factors stimulate new growth in hair follicles, improves blood stimulation, improves the thickness and texture of existing hair and prevents hair fall. PRP works for patients with thin hair. Results can be seen after 2 to 3 sessions. When does PRP not work? Completely bald areas, irreparable damage, and patients having hair loss for more than 10 years. How does PRP help after hair transplant? Improves graft survival. Fastens hair growth. Prevents shock hair loss. Improves quality of hair growth. How safe is PRP? It is safe and effective. As your own blood is used for the procedure, there are very less chances of infection.
How to get the maximum treatment.
Increasing demand for hair transplant. According to hair loss statistics, more than half of men and women have some sort of hair loss until they reach their 40s. Hair transplant technology has improved the success rate of transplants in India and the demand is increasing. The following are the reasons for the increased demand for hair transplants. Hair loss is becoming more common. People in their 20s are experiencing severe hair loss, proving that it is no longer a disease reserved for the elderly. Furthermore, since life expectancy has increased, more people in their later years are experiencing hair loss. As a result of the rise in hair loss caused by a variety of conditions, the demand for hair transplant has skyrocketed. Fear of aging. Younger generation are becoming more aware of aging to the point where they are fearful of it. Not only that, but the fact that they are attempting to control the physical symptoms of aging is a big contributor of hair transplant demand because the younger generation is also suffering from hair loss. They are avoiding the danger of major old age changes by seeking therapy as soon as possible. Improving technology. Hair transplants can now produce natural looking results thanks to the technological advancements. Most people choose a hair transplant since it gives them a more natural appearance and is less time consuming. Influence of social media. There is no doubt that social media has a significant impact on our lives nowadays. It makes people more self conscious about their appearance, prompting them to seek out treatments and operations to get the ideal hair and skin. Social media has greatly contributed to the rising demand for hair transplant by making people self conscious. Increasing awareness. This is one of the main reasons for their increasing popularity. The stigma has been lifted as a result of celebrities openly admitting to having hair transplant and a growing awareness of physical attractiveness. As a result, more people are opting for hair surgery to get their desired look. What makes you a right candidate for hair transplant? You have probably heard of hair transplant surgery if you have done any research into your hair restoration alternative. Anyone who is self conscious about their appearance and wants to change it is an excellent candidate for hair transplant surgery. Hair transplantation for hair loss therapy is gaining popularity and it is successfully helping people restore their hairline and cure baldness. In reality, a hair transplant for baldness therapy has a set of requirements that must be met. You will only be the right candidate if you are a suitable candidate for a hair transplant. To give you a better idea, here are some crucial factors to consider when deciding whether or not you are a good candidate for hair transplantation. Patients who want to change the volume and density of their hairline as well as want to improve their appearance to feel better about themselves are suitable candidate for hair transplant. Requirements that patients must meet in order to have a hair transplant. Candidate for hair loss, typical male pattern baldness in both men or women means the person loses hair in the front, top or crown with a preserved area on the back and sides of the scalp. High hairline in a woman that makes her face look less proportional or less feminine. Hair loss secondary to burns or trauma. Looking to make a change to their hairline, lack of facial hair or missing part of it, loss of eyebrow hair, scarring in hair bearing areas from trauma or medical procedures such as neurosurgical scars and facelifts. Want to improve the unnatural appearance of older transplant results by adding density or replacing old grafts and redesigning the hair.
Reasons you should consider hair restoration. 1. It boosts one's self-esteem and brings back lost confidence. 2. Gives natural-looking and undetectable hair. 3. It is a successful procedure which is safe and has no side effects. 4. It is most effective and result-oriented treatment for male pattern hair loss. 5. Gives long-lasting and guaranteed results.
Common myth busters for hair transplant. There are various myths associated with hair transplant procedures that need to be busted to present a real picture. Transplanted hair looks unnatural. Result looks completely natural, if the hair transplant surgeon can determine the direction, depth and angle of hair to make the transplanted hair look more natural. Hair transplant surgery is a painful process. Hair transplant is performed under local anesthesia, hence it is almost painless. Patient can go home after the surgery on the same day. Hair transplant provides instant results. Hair transplant surgery is only noticeable after 6 to 8 months. Hair transplant for women is not suitable. Hair transplant works effectively in treating both the males as well as the females. FUE hair transplant is least effective. There are various techniques for hair transplant, but FUE and MHI are the most effective way of hair transplant if done by proper specialized doctors and team. You should not wash the transplanted hair. Hair wash will not intervene with the growth of the newly grafted hair.
Modified hair implantation by Vplant. Why Vplant for your hair transplant? It's a comprehensive process to achieve great results. It starts with detailed consultation and scalp analysis, prior VGROW treatment for preparation of scalp for transplant, special vibroject technique for anesthesia, recombinant growth factor on the scalp to fertilize the area, processing of extracted graft with bio-PRP to improve graft survival, maximum grafts for more density, Maximum surgeon's involvement for proper assessment of hairline, density, distribution, and assured safety. Advanced transplanter technique for implantation to control depth, angle, and direction. Special tip fine punches with collagen dressing for quick healing of donor area and invisible scarring. Specially designed VGROW post-operative maintenance treatment for implanted and existing hair. Finally, in your hair transformation journey, we trust in our Vplant surgeon's experience more than robot.
Why is medical tourism to India best for hair transplant? Hair transplant is a popular treatment that is used to treat baldness. It successfully brings hair growth in male and female pattern hair loss. Getting a hair transplant in India is a feasible option today because of following factors. Cost. India provides highest quality healthcare at reasonable prices. Quality. High-quality treatment is provided in India using latest technology and technique. India has 34 JCI-accredited hospitals. Waiting time. In developed countries like US, UK and Canada, patients have to wait for major surgeries. India has no waiting time or a very less waiting time for surgeries. Language. Despite of linguistic diversity in India, English is considered as an official language, due to which communication becomes easy with foreign patients as it is an international language. Travel. Medical visa (M-Visa) has been introduced, which allows a medical tourist to be in India for a specific period. Apart from this, visa on arrival is granted for citizens from few countries, which allows them to stay in India for 30 days. Vplant Hair Clinic stands as one of the best clinics in India with consistent results, regular follow-up, compassionate, proficient and highly experienced doctors, modern technology and equipment and excellent sanitation. Our renowned surgeons, excellent results and low costs make India the most preferred destination for hair transplant.
Welcome to Vplant. Our unique transplanter technique for proper assessment of depth, direction and angle with no bleeding to get a natural look. Positive feedback and smile.
Hi friends, my name is Krishna. I'm here in the Vplant Advanced Hair Clinic. So from last 5 years ago, I was facing problem hair fall. I had lost my confidence. It was affecting my looks and appearance. I was feeling rejected. I tried Ayurvedic medicines, so many oils, but due to some reason like a hair fall, hair damage, and stop them. So there was no result. So I'm very sad and so depressed. So one day my friend suggesting me to go and visit Vplant's Advanced Hair Clinic. I was doubting, but I'm decided. Finally I came to the Vplant Advanced Hair Clinic and made a doctor. I was really impressed as a doctor boosted my confidence. Clinic ambience is really very soothing. I was very impressed by Vplant's staff treatment. They were so helpful. So they use the latest machine and equipments for the surgery. They are very trained in their techniques. After the surgery, there was a beat pain. They are provided me the medicine. I really feel good now. The thoughts of getting a new look. It's a very beautiful. So thank you so much Vplant doctors and team for bringing my lost and confidence back.
आज ही मैंने अपना हेयर ट्रांसप्लांट करा है वी प्लांट। काफ़ी सालों से मुझे बैडनेस का प्रॉब्लम्स हो रहा था। फिर मैंने काफ़ी ऑयल लगाया लेकिन उसमें से कोई रिजल्ट्स नहीं मिला मुझे। तो मैं एक दिन ऐसे ही इंस्टा पे मैंने एड्स देखा वी प्लांट्स का, तो मैं डायरेक्ट कांटेक्ट किया कंसल्टेंट्स को। फिर मेरा अपॉइंटमेंट हुआ। फिर कंसल्टेंट्स ने मुझे पूरा डिस्क्राइब करके मुझे सब समझाया। फिर मेरा ट्रांसप्लांट हो चुका है। अभी मैं काफ़ी बेटर फील्स कर रहा हूँ। यहाँ के सारे स्टाफ सपोर्टिव है। MHI प्लस टेक्निक्स है जो हेयर ट्रांसप्लांट के लिए वो पेनलेस टेक्निक्स है। ये MHI प्लस टेक्निक हेयर ट्रांसप्लांट के लिए काफ़ी बेटर रिजल्ट्स देता है ये टेक्निक्स। सो इसीलिए मैंने ये टेक्निक से हेयर ट्रांसप्लांट किया। अभी मुझे काफ़ी बेटर फील हो रहा है। अगर आप लोग को भी बाल्डनेस हेयर फॉल प्रॉब्लम है तो आप वी प्लांट ज़रूर विजिट कीजिए। थैंक यू वी प्लांट।
To boost the growth of your newly implanted
माझं नाव लक्ष्मीकांत गर्जे। मागच्या 8-10 वर्षापासून माझी केस गळत होते आणि एक वेळेस अशी आली की माझे समोरच्या साईडचे पूर्ण केस गेले होते। कुठेही गेले की ते इम्प्रेशन त्यामध्ये एवढं पडत नव्हतं। नंतर मला काही लोकांनी सांगितलं की भरपूर अशा नवीन टेक्निक आल्या। त्या अगोदर मी असे विलाज केले की पहिल्यांदा आयुर्वेदिक विलाज केला, त्यानंतर जे नवीन येतात हेअर ग्रो करण्याकरता टॉनिक्स किंवा त्यानंतर गोळ्या किंवा त्यावरती डोक्यावर लावण्याकरता काही लोशन्स वगैरे ते सर्व प्रयत्न केले, पण कुठल्या तरी काही फरक पडला नाही। नंतर मला असं कळलं की इथं जे व्हीप्लांट ॲडव्हान्स क्लिनिक आहे त्या क्लिनिकमध्ये चांगल्या प्रकारची ट्रीटमेंट होते आणि ते केल्यानंतर आपल्याला केस येतील असं मी म्हणजे नेटवर्क पण वाचलं होतं आणि नंतर कळालं पण मला। मग एक दिवस मी काय केलं की रेफरन्सनी फोटो काढला आणि फोटो इथल्या क्लिनिकमध्ये पाठवून दिला। मला त्यांनी काही सांगितलं नाही, फक्त त्यांनी सांगितलं की सर तुम्ही या, तुमचं काम त्यामध्ये परफेक्ट होईल। आणि फोटो पाठवल्यानंतर एक साधारणतः 1 महिन्यानंतर बाकी ट्रीटमेंट बाकीचे जे टेस्ट वगैरे करून मी तिथे ॲडमिट झालो। सगळ्यात सुरुवातीला मला सांगितलं इथला स्टाफ एवढा कोऑपरेटिव्ह आहे की तुम्हाला काहीच करायची गरज नाही। मला काही माहिती नसताना सुद्धा की ट्रीटमेंट कशी होते काय होते त्यांनी मला पूर्ण स्वतः सगळं एक्सप्लेन करून सांगितलं आणि त्यानंतर मग डायरेक्टली मी डॉक्टरांना भेटून ट्रीटमेंट करण्याकरता घेतली। तर आता जर तुम्ही माझा केस बघताल तर पहिला आणि आताच्यामध्ये खूप फरक आहे। ह्याच्याने फायदा काय झाला की माझा कॉन्फिडन्स लेवल वाढला। जिथं मी काम करतो त्या ठिकाणी जसं पाहिलं तर इम्प्रेशन एकदम वेगळं पडतं। पहिल्यांदा ब्लॅडचं एक्सप्रेशन वेगळं होतं आणि आताचं एक्सप्रेशन एकदम वेगळं पडतंय। तर माझं एवढंच सगळ्यांना म्हणणं आहे की आता जर आपल्या टेक्निक उपलब्ध झालेली आहे आणि दुसरं म्हणजे हॉस्पिटलमध्ये एक लेटेस्ट इक्विपमेंट्स पूर्ण आहेत, तर तुम्हाला बाकी काही काळजी करायची गरज नाही। बाकी ठिकाणी काय वेगवेगळ्या थेरपी करतात, पण इथली थेरपी जी आहे ती एकदम बेस्ट आहे आणि साधारणतः 3 ते 4 महिन्यामध्ये पूर्ण केस डोक्यावरती डेव्हलप होतात।
हेलो गाइस, मैं रवि त्यागी। आज मैं आपको अपने हेयर ट्रांसप्लांट के बारे में बताना चाहता हूँ जो मैंने कराया है वीप्लांट एडवांस हेयर क्लिनिक से। मैं बहुत पहले से सोचा करता था कि मैं अपना, क्योंकि ये समस्या जो है मुझे कुछ 6-7 सालों से थी जो बाल्डनेस की। तो मैं सोचा करता था कि यार मैं अपना हेयर ट्रांसप्लांट कराऊंगा, बट कहाँ कराऊंगा। और वो एक इसके बारे में एक ये भी है कि यार पता नहीं कितना पेन होता है, कैसे होता है, थोड़ा सा वो कॉन्फिडेंस आना डॉक्टर के ऊपर वेरी डिफिकल्ट जब मैं आफ्टर माय प्रोसीजर में जब यहाँ पे PRP के लिए आता था, बिकॉज एक फॉलोअप ट्रीटमेंट भी वीप्लांट एडवांस देता है इसके साथ में तो मुझे डॉक्टर अमित ने फिर एक और नई टेक्नोलॉजी के बारे में इंट्रोड्यूस कराया जो उन्होंने खुद डेवलप की है, MHI प्लस, जो कि थर्ड टेक्नोलॉजी है। जो लोग थोड़ा दूर रहते हैं, बार बार PRP के लिए, मतलब या मंथली शुरू के 2-3 महीना हमें PRP करानी पड़ती है आफ्टर प्रोसीजर, तो जो जल्दी नहीं आ सकते उनके लिए ये टेक्नोलॉजी बहुत ही ज्यादा यूजफुल है। और मैंने मेरे 2 से 3 दोस्तों का वो टेक्नोलॉजी से यहाँ पे हेयर ट्रांसप्लांट कराया है और उनका रिजल्ट भी बहुत अच्छा है। गाइस, मैं आपको एक बात और बताना चाहता हूँ कि यहाँ का स्टाफ बहुत फ्रेंडली है। और जब मैं पहली बार यहाँ आया भी था तो मैं यहाँ की जो क्लिनिक मैनेजर है मिस रीवा, उनसे मिला। उन्होंने मुझे एक एक चीज इतनी डिटेल में बताई हेयर ट्रांसप्लांट के बारे में, जो मेरे अंदर, जो मेरे मन में डर था, वो पूरा उन्होंने निकाल दिया। जो थोड़ा बहुत डर रह गया था वो डॉक्टर अमित अग्रकर ने निकाल दिया। तो और यहाँ का स्टाफ इतना फ्रेंडली है कि मतलब मैं सोचूं, मैं अकेला आया घर से, एनेस्थेसिया भी दिया जाता है उसके लिए, मैं अकेला आया, यहाँ पे रहा, लंच में क्या खाना है, जूस चाहिए, शाम को क्या कॉफी चाहिए, चाय चाहिए, मुझे बिल्कुल ऐसा फील नहीं हुआ कि मैं कहीं बाहर किसी क्लिनिक में, मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि मेरा ट्रीटमेंट मेरे घर में ही चल रहा है, यू नो, और मेरे घर वाले सब मेरी केयर कर रहे हैं। तो इस तरह का फील है। यहाँ के जो हॉस्पिटैलिटी है वो बहुत अच्छी है, जो रेस्ट रूम्स है, इतनी पॉजिटिव वाइब्स है पूरे क्लिनिक में, मजा आ गया। थैंक यू सो मच।
हाय, मेरा नाम नैनेश्वर है। 5 से 6 मंथ पहले मैंने यहाँ पे हेयर ट्रांसप्लांट किया था। रिजल्ट आप देख ही सकते हो। यहाँ के स्टाफ बहुत कोऑपरेटिव है और मोस्ट प्रोबेबली जो रिवा मैम है और अदर रिसेप्शन स्टाफ भी काफ़ी अच्छे से मोटिवेट करते हैं और हमें सपोर्ट देते हैं हर चीज़ के लिए। मेन जो है अमित आगरकर, जो डॉक्टर हैं, स्पेशलिस्ट हैं, काफ़ी अच्छे से ट्रीटमेंट देते हैं सभी जो न्यू गाई आते हैं यहाँ पे। अगर आपको भी हेयर ट्रांसप्लांट की ज़रूरत होगी तो एक बार ज़रूर यहाँ पे वीप्लांट में विजिट कीजिए। थैंक यू वीप्लांट, इतना अच्छा रिजल्ट देने के लिए।
Good morning friends, my name is Dr. Ravi. I am working as an assistant professor at Mumbai Veterinary College for Mumbai. I had baldness since 3 years. I have used so many shampoos, oils, Ayurvedic medicines to grow my hairs, but there were no any result. Then I have searched the very good and very important hair transplant clinic, that is Vplant Advanced Hair Clinic at Mindspace Malad West, and I have visited the pioneer Dr. Amit Agarkar sir advised me to go for MHI technique, and I have gone through the YouTube different methods. I have learned a lot from the YouTube about the MHI technique and technology for the hair transplant to regrow the hairs. Then I decided to go to the Vplant Advanced Hair Transplant Clinic for the MHI technique, and I have done the hair transplant on 19th November 2019, and after 2 years this is my result. I have gone near about 3 to 4 settings of the PRP and along with the hair transplant, and I got a very nice result, and that is what I am recommending you or referring you this Dr. Amit Agarkar's clinic, that is Vplant Advanced Hair Transplant Clinic, a very nice clinic for the hair transplant. Thank you so much.
मी कोल्हापूरमधून बोलतो. माझं नाव अजित दत्तात्रय नाळे. मला गेली 2 वर्ष झालं केसांचा खूप प्रॉब्लेम होता. तरी मी खूप टेन्शनमध्ये असायचो की केस जातात, खूप लग्नाचा प्रॉब्लेम असायचा. मग इथं डॉक्टरांचा संपर्क साधला, सरांच्या जवळ आलो. सरांनी माझा प्रॉब्लेम सांगितला की माझं सर केस गेलेला आहेत, काय करूया. मग सरांनी मला सांगितलं इथं आपण करू, चांगलं करतोय आम्ही. मग सरांनी मी दाखवून आपली प्रोसेस चालू केलेली. मी पुढं तिथून पुढं मग काय, इथे मी 1.5 दिवस थांबले होते मी, आणि सरांनी माझे केस इतने छान केले आहेत की बघू शकता तुम्ही माझे केस, की मागल्या दिवाळीला केलेले मी केस 3 नोव्हेंबरला. आता या 3 नोव्हेंबरला मला 1 वर्ष कंप्लीट झालेलं आहे. खूप आता मस्त वाटतं की आरशात गेल्यावर एवढं छान वाटतं की भाग तेन पाडायला. बघू शकता हे केस माझे चांगले झालेले आहेत, कारण की हा भाग निम्मा माझा गेलेला होता, तो ते सरांनी मला कंप्लीट करून दिला. मला बरं आता एवढं खूप बरं वाटते की मस्त वाटते जरा.